to the sky! Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Yes, it is a plane in fact. Hello everyone, today we'll be looking at a few videos that show us just how difficult it really is for pilots when it comes to flying planes and helicopters. Stick around to the end because these just get crazier and crazier. Let's start the video. If bad drivers were not enough to look out for on the roads, planes have also started using roads. These security cameras caught a plane rear-ending a poor SUV driver that could not, in all of his days, ever expect this to happen. As soon as this plane takes off, things start to fall apart. Quite literally. Imagine yourself sitting at the window seat that you fought your sibling for, just to see this happen before your eyes. The plane made an emergency landing afterward and everyone was safe. After the captain explained how to open a small window in a plane, this guy opened it up to snap a photograph. His camera, however, went too close to the opening and was pulled out of his hands, plunging onto the desert below. If someone found that camera, that footage must be really amazing. This is the world's coolest beach. Maho Beach is located just beneath the flight path of Princess Juliana International Airport, one of the world's smallest international airports. These folks thought it would be a good idea to stand just behind the jet as it was about to take off, but all they got was dirt in their mouths. Shortly after taking off, this small plane suffered a major engine failure and was left without power. The brave pilots then steered the plane into the open and gently lay it down into an open field of corn. A rough landing, but a necessary one at that. This plane belonging to the DHL company has a rough landing. It tilts a little to the right due to the high wind and drags its engine on the ground. The pilot, being smart, does not land as that could have been even worse and takes off for another attempt. Speaking of landing gears, here's another one. This time it's a big hefty jetliner that has the landing gear of its nose stuck sideways. It makes contact and sparks fly everywhere as the plane gradually slows down. The thing I'm surprised about is how amazing it is that the rest of the gear did not collapse under all that momentum of the plane. After reaching its stop on a snowy runway at Chicago Airport, this plane starts to drift to the side. Yeah, drift like a car, and it goes off the runway at the end. You can only imagine what must be flashing before the passengers' eyes. Luckily, it tilts over on its wing and comes to a stop without any significant amount of damage. Coming in for a hot landing, this plane swoops down to the low-lying runway and this videographer manages to take a cool shot. Little does he know, that was not it and something bigger was in store for him. The pilot overshot the landing by way too much and you can see the tire marks trying to stop the plane, but to no avail. A visitor to Fiji's Treasure Island Resort captured the moment a chopper carrying 7 people collided with a tree during the landing. The 6 passengers and pilot of the Island Hoppers Eurocopter chopper, try to say that 5 times fast, survived the incident unhurt and managed to walk away themselves. Matt Hall of Australia had a fright during the first qualifying session of the Red Bull Air Race in Windsor on Saturday when his jet collided with the surface of the Detroit River. But the veteran RAAF pilot recovered swiftly and safely returned to Race Airport. The plane would have found a new home underwater if it hadn't been for his skills and expertise. This does not look safe at all. Clearly the engine has seen better days before it turned into this giant ball of sparks and fire. If you look close enough, you can see that they're high up in the sky, which makes matters even worse. What is a propeller plane without its propeller? The answer? A dangerous piece of metal slowly falling through the sky, of course. Luckily, he was just nearby a runway and goes straight for a landing. If I was in the seat, I might have passed out by then. A hiker that was injured while trying to conquer Piestewa Peak in Phoenix is being towed up by a helicopter during her rescue mission. The air of the helicopter is so intense at this point that the woman starts spinning along with the propellers of the helicopter. She's alright though, as she also made an appearance on Conan's show. A plane hits the tree in a parking lot of a business and slams down to the ground. Talk about abrupt chaos, am I right? Well, at least he seems to be following the no reverse parking rule like the rest of the cars. In order to help the divers jump properly without hitting the plane and all at once, the plane must perform a loop of sorts. When it does and everyone jumps out, the plane, however, is seen to be stalling. The pilot tries and finally manages to grab hold of the controls properly. Here's an example of what an oil-starved engine can do in a single second. Pilot Kevin Eldridge had a catastrophic failure that caused his prop to spin up to turbine speeds and virtually blast off the front of the aircraft. Having a view like this while you are on the same plane must be very, very heart attack inducing. But thankfully, it was not anything mechanical, just the bodywork that was falling apart. The plane also managed to land safely at its destination. A helicopter of the Guardia di Finanza crashed on Saturday morning at the Bolzano airport, luckily with no casualties. The tragedy happened during a training exercise when the helicopter began spinning abruptly, tilted to the right, and broke its rotors. During a fire extinguishing mission, this helicopter suddenly comes across power cables and the pilot fails to see them. These cables connected the two hills before they were cut down. Luckily, it does not wrap around the rotors of the helicopter and makes it out without damage. Alright everyone, that's it for today. I appreciate your patience and I hope you were satisfied with what you saw. If these are the kinds of videos you enjoy seeing, click the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Till then, have a great day. And as always, thanks for watching and take care.